The last big problem that we'll talk about that we face when we do survey research is creating a survey that is well worded. And this can be kind of challenging if you don't have much experience creating these things. So let's go ahead and look at an example. Let's say that we have people agree or disagree with the statement, taking a vacation with family is fun. What's wrong with this question?
You have to define fun. Fun for some people could be museums, and fun for some people could be Cancun.
Okay, yeah, that's an excellent point. Any other? Yeah, it doesn't specify what they mean by fun or what they mean by family. Where are you taking a vacation exactly, like you said? So this is a very ambiguous question. It could be interpreted in a number of different ways. So maybe going to Cancun with your sibling, fun. Spending Thanksgiving with the grandparents that you don't get along with all that well, maybe not as much fun, but those could both qualify as vacations with family. And so it's good to be relatively specific. And let's see, let's take a look at another example. So let's say you are studying conceptions of gender roles, right? And you have this question on your survey, agree or disagree. It's wrong for female bar patrons to swear and buy drinks for men who are unknown to them. Right? So any idea what might be wrong with this question?
It's asking two things.
Yeah, that's right on. So it's asking two things at once. And so your participants might agree that it's okay for female bar patrons to swear, but then they disagree that it's okay for them to buy drinks for men who are unknown to them. Now, they're going to have a hard time giving a good answer to this question. This is what's called a double-barreled question. So this would be much better if it were broken down into two separate questions that ask about each one of those elements separately. All right. And last but not least, let's take a look at one other example of a problem that you can run into with survey wording. Now, if you're studying speeding, you could ask people, how often do you exceed posted speed limits? Or you could ask them, how often do you break the law by speeding? Now, which do you think is going to be, how do you think the answers might vary depending on which one of these questions is asked?
Well, I mean, I exceed the speed limit every day. It's like regular to go faster than the speed limit, you know what I mean? But you don't really think of it as breaking the law.
Yeah, so you're asking about the exact same behavior here, essentially. But you'll probably get different answers because in this one you're referring to illegal behavior. And nobody likes to think that they break the law, even if they are doing it on a regular basis. And so you really have to be careful about asking questions that are biased in some way or that are leading questions that are kind of guiding people toward a particular answer by sounding especially judgmental. You might get a more accurate answer with this first version of this question than you would with the second because of these concerns about, we talked about social desirability bias before. Right? People, if they're doing something illegal, even if they don't think it's all that bad, will be less willing to say, yeah, I break the law by speeding all the time, than they will by saying, then they would be willing to say, yeah, I exceed posted speed limits a lot. Like, now we know you're a criminal, John. Yeah. Right. So any questions about this stuff? All right, well that's it for today. And like I said, on Monday we're going to talk about communicating the results of research, and we'll talk a little bit about the APA style that you'll need to use for your paper. I'll see you then. Have a good weekend, and I'll see some of you in lab.